it is said that Jacob was born holding on to the ankle of his brother Esau. Now, that's one fighter, wrestling right from the word go. And all his life was marked by this wrestling, this battling, this struggling. He would struggle with his brother Esau. But there's nothing wrong with struggling, with wrestling. But he was, we are told in the scriptures, a cheat. He would cheat his brother Esau of his birthright, and Esau was upset, angry, and he was out to kill his brother. And so Jacob runs away from home. And then eventually, after wrestling, a life of wrestling within himself, he is on his way to meet his brother, and he comes, and they meet halfway. And so, it is in that anxiety, in that uncertainty, what will happen? Will he strike me dead? That sort of a background that a stranger comes and wrestles with Jacob. And we are told that that wrestler is none other than the angel of God. And Jacob wrestles all his life. And when the stranger realizes that he is not able to prevail over Jacob, he hits him below the belt, and literally so. And that makes him, if you can read in between the lines, Jacob impotent, and Benjamin is the last son. And Jacob goes limping. Now pause there. And as the angel talks to Jacob, Jacob is a man who is all the time seeking, shall I say, legitimacy to his riches, to his wealth, to his name and fame. He is what you would call, in today's term, a self-made man. But then, that doesn't stand him in good stead. He is missing something. He is lacking something. And he is seeking for his own living roots, a relationship with his brother, a place in the rest of the family. And that is why that wrestling with God, in the presence of God, is very symbolic. And that is also fruitful. But in the bargain, he is wounded. And yet, he is healed. He is limping for the rest of his life. But limping, he enters into the promised land. And notice that as he gets out of the fight, his name is changed. His attitude is changed. His life is changed. Does that ring a bell in you? When you wrestle with God, whether you are a prayer warrior or not, and by the way, let it be said that all of us are prayer warriors. When you wrestle with God, your name is changed. Your destiny is changed. The course of life is changed. The meaning of life is changed for you and becomes significant. Whatever it be that you're struggling with, it may be a child who is sick, or a spouse who is not well. It may be the loss of a job or loss of a relationship. It may be the seeking of an identity, a place in a family. Whatever it is, wrestle with God. And if you forget all that I shared with you, just remember this. When you can kneel before Him, you can stand up to anything. And that is why Tennyson would say, more things are wrought by prayer than the world dreams of. And this wrestling with God is but a euphemism for praying. Jacob has an appointment with Esau, but he doesn't realize that God has given him an appointment. Does it ever occur to us, sisters and brothers, as we wrestle with our family, as we wrestle with our problems, as we wrestle with our headaches, with a child that is sick, with a wife or a husband who is not well, that God has actually given us an appointment in that? And when you keep that appointment with God, you may be wounded, but you will be healed. You may go limping for the rest of your life, but that is how you enter the promised land. When you can kneel before Him, you can stand up to anything. Are you willing to kneel before Him?